Chapter 2 Love on the Brink of Destruction. Nope, still don't know Mega Man X. X charged up his X-Bus to the max capacity and fired it at the giant maverick they had codenamed Gigas. Giggity. The blast, however, just simply deflected off the giant and flew back at X, hitting him full on, sending him through a building several feet away. X! Zero yelled angrily. He charged Gigas and started tracking madly with the Z-Saber, while Axel gave him cover fire from his twin pistols. All ever seemed to fail against this maverick, though. Elliot, we have a real problem here. Axe is down, nothing we're doing slows Gigas down, Axel reported. We have to lure her away from the city, came Axel's voice from behind them. Zero and Axel turned to face their comrade. He was seriously injured. Just having been hit by his own charged buster blast, his right arm was torn clean off. His downwards damage had cracked in countless areas, and he had an unthinkable amount of wires protruding from everywhere, and his helmet crystal was completely shattered. It was just not the Blue Bomber's day. When the John McKinley noticed Axe again and fired several laser beams from his side at the sure hunter. The trio dodged with Axe only just barely avoiding it. X, get back to base now, the Quincy man realized his best friend was a sitting duck right now. I can't do that, Axe said. Why not? Axel demanded. Look at it. It's only focused on me. Ever since we got here, it's only launched attacks at me, the Blue Bomber replied. Meaning if you leave the city, we'll likely follow, came Alia's voice. Exactly, X said. No, X, you can't. You're only down to 5% energy. You have to come back to base. Let's hear an X handle it, Alia said. With that, X jumped his radio signal and pulled out a stun pulse bomb, dropped it at the feet of Zero and X, so then took off running. The bomb went off, letting out several rays that hit the teenage Reploid and the Red Death Stun them before they had a chance to react. I'm sorry, everyone, the Sir Hunter said, running toward the city gates with Gigas following right behind as X had predicted. X led the Gigas to the outskirts of the city, but his strength was fading fast. His best hope was leading to the junkyard, which is looking more impossible by the minute as Gigas fired a giant laser, which cut X, slowing him down even more. Warning, damage levels critical, energy remaining, 3%, backup energy, depleted. Armor, 0 attack capabilities, 0 X-Buster, offline, Z-Saber offline. His internal sensor warned him. Oh boy, the Blue Bomber moved to him so as his system lifted off his problems. The junker came into X's view, and the giant McKinley was right behind him. He knew he was only going to have one chance at this. X led Gigas in the junkyard and stood on a compactor that was slowly starting to compact, waiting for Gigas to come on the platform after him. Gigas quickly climbed up the platform, and X jumped up, barely missing being squished. The Gigas, however, was not so lucky and got crushed in the compactor. However, the giant was still alive, much to the dismay of the Azure Hunter. Good grief, X said to himself. He channeled 2% of his remaining energy to the X-Buster to get it functioning again, and as soon as it became operational, he started charging the maximum levels. Warning, expending this much energy will result in total energy drain and will initiate full status lock. Came the voice from the internal systems again. X, don't! X screamed through his headset, having finally broken through his jammer. X sighed, wondering what the point of jammers were that could be easily broken through. Alia, I must, X said weakly. X, please no! Alia yelled out. Why not? The Blue Bomber demanded, echoing Axel from earlier. Because I love you and I don't want to see you hurt, Alia finally admitted fiercely, but at the same time embarrassingly to the Red Platter faction over an open comm channel where many of us had heard the proclamation as well. This took the Azure Hunter by surprise and caused him to hesitate. The Gigas finally managed to stumble over to X and came around with one of his crushed legs, struck the Blue Bomber only to have it removed by a large green beam seconds later. X was here and X rushed the robot, trying to fish it off now that it was totally defenseless. X watched for a few moments, then started feeling dizzy. X, from 3 different voices, was the last thing he heard before blacking out. Maverick Hunter Headquarters, Medical Bay. Elliot waited outside with Zero and Axel, blaming herself for Axel being in his current condition. Had I maybe said something sooner, she berated herself. The Spiral was upset with herself, and still slightly embarrassed she had proclaimed her love for X, pretty much publicly, and probably not the best of times for the Blue Maverick Hunter. It'll be okay, Alia. It isn't your fault, and he's tougher than he looks, Zero said. I know, Zero, but I still blame myself. If only I had done something sooner, then maybe he wouldn't have ended up like this. Thinking he had nothing to lose and had sacrificed his side to work toward peace, Alia said. Come on, Alia, as Zero said, don't blame yourself. Ak was only doing what his heart told him, Axel said when Hydra came out. Her head hung somberly. How is he? Alia asked hopefully. Not too good. His sisters are so advanced it's hard to fix him from so much damage. Typical damage that you all normally sustain. Not a problem. With this much though, we did the best we could. He's currently in the stasis coma, and who knows how long it will be, if ever, before he wakes up. Hydra said, sending a sense of despair to the three. Not wanting to see X in such a helpless state, Elliot thought of his excuse to leave. I had better report his sickness on X's condition, the Spar said quickly, leaving the medical bay. I don't blame her. I really don't want to see X like this either, Axel said. I should probably get back in there and get back to work. I just wanted to update you all. The medics are turning in and going back into X's room. The Crimson Kill and the younger Reploid sat outside X's room, discussing and debating several small things to distract their minds from their fallen comrade. Maverick Hunter 09 will report to my office immediately. Signals ordered over the intercom several minutes later. We do have headsets, Axel said grumpily as they left. Thankfully, Cygnus' office wasn't too far from where they were, and they made their way there quickly. Upon arriving, the two entering Cygnus' office where Ellie was also waiting. Zero and Axel, with Axel currently incapacitated, then you two will have to work hard to pick up his slack, Cygnus said. The two nodded their commander, even though they already knew they would have to. Also, in light of all that has been going on, I'm releasing Elia for her vacation time. As such, the two of you will be without a spotter, Cygnus said. Axel looked over Elia and understood why he let Elia off. After all, she was distraught over X. For now, you guys can rest. Dismissed, Cygnus said. With that, the three left his office. Well, I'm going to the training room. Nothing more I can really do here, Killer said coolly as he walked off. I'm going to go get me some grub, Axel said, realizing, like Zero, there wasn't anything much he could do. With a wave to the spotter, he left the mess hall. Ellie, being left to herself, realized and knew in her heart that she had to be by X's side no matter how bad a shape he was in until he recovered, so she left for the medical bay. When she got there, she found Hydra waiting in the main waiting area of the bay. Ellie figured either she was taking a break or she had done all she could do to help X. Ellie approached Hydra and asked for permission to enter X's room. Of course. Be aware though, despite my best efforts, he's still in pretty rough shape, the medic explained. Ellie nodded and made her way over to X's room. After a slight hesitation, she finally entered. The moment she saw the blue bomber, she looked in horror as his repairs were minimal at best. His damaged helmet had been peeled off, leaving his metal exoskeleton exposed in several places, and wires upon wires were exposed and disconnected from him, while a multitude of medical wires were attached to him, monitoring him, working on scans and other repair processes. Oh, X, Elliot said, pulling a chair over to his bed. She sat down and took the hand from his temporary right arm in hers, and just sat there staring at him, unsure of what to do. She had never fallen in love with anyone like she had done with X. The last person she had thought she loved was Gate, but he had taken her lunch away with Gate. There was only puppy love, as humans would call it. This, however, sparked an idea in her head, and she ran to the nearest computer. She pressed several keys, and after a few moments of waiting, Gate's face appeared on the screen black and crazy, causing her to giggle. Bad timing, Alia, Gate said. Sorry to interrupt, but I need your help, Alia said. Gate had mostly went into seclusion until he was repaired and cured the Sigma fires. The 1246 committed during Sigma's 5th uprising, and only Alien Hydra knew how to contact him. Oh, with what? Gate asked, cleaning his face. It's X, Alia said. She then explained the situation to Gate, hoping he would help her. I understand. I will help your lover. After all, I do all in my life, the scientist said. With that, Alia almost leaped out of her chair in excitement. Thank you, Kate. You were always a good friend, Alia said. Think nothing of it. I'll swing by tonight. Make sure to give me clearance, Gate said. As it got later into night, Gate finally arrived and entered the medical bay, and after drawing the proper clearance to the guards that Alia had gone him, Hydro led him to X's room, where Alia was sitting at X's bedside, still holding his hand. Wow. What's all Gate could say upon seeing X's condition. Yeah, I told you I was in pretty bad shape, Alia said as Gate set his tooth down. Alright, let me have a little look-see, Gate said, approaching X. The first thing Gate did was run a full system scan. This, however, was tricky due to X's advanced systems. Fortunately, though, he was able to get through and get all the proper scans he needed at least, though he understood performing the actual repairs would be the real task. Alright, Alia, I think I can do this, but it would take me quite a few hours, and even then I am not entirely sure I can fix it completely, Gate said. I can wait, Gate. I'll always wait as long as X comes back to me, Alia said. Gage smiled because it was so apparent Elliot was head over heels in love with this legendary Reploid. The former Maverick didn't turn to Hydra, with whom he had worked with previously on another project. As a research scientist, he had helped with some of the newer tech used by Hydra in the Maverick Hunter headquarters. Alright Hydra, I'm going to be needing your help with all this as well, since you're probably the second most knowledgeable about exit systems at this point. Yet realizing already how much of a headache this was going to be. Hydra nodded and wished Lifesaver were currently dead with him, since other than Exit's own creator, he knew the most about exit systems. However, he was at high command, as he seriously doubted the higher ups there would release him from his duties there currently just to come deal with a single Reploid, despite who the Reploid was. And here's chapter 2. As always, R&R, good or bad, matters not.